Yo, it's Kevin here from West End Games, and this is the deck I'm going to be playing in the second round of the Blue Envelope tournament. Now, there's a lot of things I like here, namely black and green cards. I love a Golgari deck, and this deck is a variation on a theme of the previous format's black and green decks, like your Explore deck from previous Standard or your Winding Constrictor deck from the format before that. What you're trying to do here is you're trying to generate advantage through your creatures and beat your opponent down. So the way we're generating advantage is through the Edgewall Innkeeper. So when we combo the Edgewall Innkeeper with all of our adventure creatures, like the Filmare Knight and the Order of Midnight and the Murderous Rider and the Lovestruck Beast, it suddenly turns all of these creatures into cantrips as well as good bodies. Which means that our card economy will keep flowing and we can just keep putting pressure on our opponents. So the fact that Murderous Rider doubles up as removal is fantastic as well, because it means we're not taking up too many of our beatdown slots to play removal spells, which is the problem decks like Winding Constrictor did have, where if you were playing a removal spell that was one less creature. So we are playing Legion's End, that's just a little concession to all the zombie tokens that our opponents could make with Field of the Dead. But it's also a good card against aggressive decks and the Hydroid Grixis. Now, the thing that I do really like about this deck is the fact that we get to play Rankle and Questing Beast. Now, green-black decks of old always struggled with sweepers, but the fact that Rankle and Questing Beast both have haste really negate that in a way that I don't feel like green and black should be able to do. But the fact that we can just hold back our threats, we can deploy on the board, and then when we force our opponent into a situation where they have to wrath us, we can just throw a haste threat into play and keep the beatdown going. Nissa kind of plays into that plan as well. I know Piot played 2 Nissas in his deck, but I wasn't really... I don't know, I wasn't too impressed with what this card was doing, so I've kept 1 and went up for 1 Big Garrick instead, because I absolutely love this card as well. I mean, I hope it's coming across how much I love green and black cards, because like, every card in this deck is just a joy for me to cast. Finality, fantastic, just pull creatures back from our bin. And also lets us play Wrath on our main board, so being able to just loop Questing Beasts and Order of Midnights and stuff with Find can just really keep us going and keep that value going. Vivian is the new innovation to the deck that Piot brought to the Mythic Championship. It just again lets us play a removal spell that is also able to apply pressure to the board, especially when you combo it with these haste threats, because it means you can deploy to the board, put a Vivian down, then if they wrath you, you just play a Rankle or a Questing Beast and throw more counters on it. The other question might be why we're only playing 3 of these if these cards are so good, and it's because they're both legendary. The Questing Beast is legendary for some reason, but yeah, these cards are both legendary, so just to mitigate how many times we get done over by the legendary rule, we're only playing 3 of each. The sideboard, again, pretty standard affair. We've got a couple of Duresses, we've got an extra Legion's End, some Noxious Grasps for the Mirror or other green creature decks, Crawl Harpooner, in case our opponent's trying something funky with mono blue. Davriel the Rogue Shadow Mage is a card that I'm really interested in. I do enjoy a good rack, and Davriel is letting us do that and forcing our opponent to discard cards. So decks like the Temur Rec deck that want to hold cards in their hand, Davriel can really put pressure on them from a different angle. Thrashing Brontodon just does double work. He can destroy enchantments, but also just comes in against the red decks. It's hard for them to deal with. Ashiok Dreamrender is our big counter to the Golos decks, just stops them being able to search their deck. Cavalier of Night, again, it's against the red decks, but also we can use Vivian's -5 just to pull it out of our sideboard and use it like a Ravenous Chupacabra effect, and the same with Massacre Girl. I don't see us siding in Massacre Girl very often, but Vivian can pull it out just when we need that kind of trump option. So yeah, this is Green-Black Adventure. I've been having a total blast with it, and I hope that this round goes well. Okay, here we are jumping into our second round of the Blue Envelope Tour. Okay, this hand, well, I've got a curve. I'm going to keep. I've got something to do on 1, Play a tapped land on 2. Yeah, okay, let's keep this. It's not the best hand, it does things. We're on the draw as well, so we can hopefully draw stuff to do. Right. I'm just going to play a tapped land. I don't see any reason to rush out a 1-1 here. And this is going to tell us a lot about the black. So this could mean it's the mirror. Black, red. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I'm just going to make human, and I might as well play this search out a forest just in case he plays one of those devils. Yeah, I'll go out the forest now just in case he plays a devil. And that means that the devil won't ping me when I sacrifice this. I could wait, but I just want to F6 on his turn. I'll go to forest. Yep. Get enough swaps in hand. And then we've got a 3-4. If we draw 6 land, we get Gary. If we don't draw 6 land, we'll draw cards we can cast. So it's a fairly reasonable start. I don't think this could be too much of an issue. It does mean we probably want to side out our innkeepers and stuff though, if he's going to be able to just ping things off. I'm going to block here. No point taking needless damage. And it does mean he'll have to equip this if he wants to take out an innkeeper later on. Again, happy I blocked. Just making this guy worse. Paradise Druid. Really where we want to be. Let's go Love Struck Beast. Okay, next. End the turn. Yep. Okay. I think what I'm going to do next turn is Rankle and discard this Paradise Druid if nothing drastic changes. Okay, this card can be enough. Okay, so we're on like a red-black oven deck. So Nissa makes things interesting. I think I'm still going to just run out rank and go for the discard here. So I want to go for that. Import's a beast to me. I don't want to activate this, so discard and sacrifice makes it very hard to activate this. So I'm kind of into that. Discard and sacrifice. And then we're kind of banking on Garrick to drag us into this game once we hit our 6th land. Nissa helps us cast Garrick. So do it us for 3. This is fine. Fine. I think what we need to do is run back the same play. So I'm going to run out Nissa, animate swap,
I will protect the virtue of this world.
play this Filmir Knight and sacrifice this Filmir Knight. Resolve.
Rise, my elemental friend.
Oh, can't sacrifice. it's still okay. The Filmir Knight gives me something to sacrifice to this, if we choose to activate it. And if he does activate it, he'll take damage. Right. Discarding cards only hurt me. What do we draw cards? Discard draw? Sacrifice. Let's draw cards. Forced into playing this turn, or losing it, which is also fine. So I don't mind giving him cards, especially if I'm going to get this Garrick down next turn. We're just putting a heap ton of pressure on him now. Any attacks he make I'll block. I'm happy blocking his Filmir Knight because it's just a liability with this thing in play. So he might just play this, attack Nissa, I got to block. And he takes damage when things die, so if he plays this, it puts him in a kind of precarious position actually. And as long as Nissa survives, we can definitely cast Garrick. Okay. Okay, so he's going to finish off Nissa. Interesting. Oh, okay, he's just going to activate this and force me to sacrifice a land.
I will endure.
Okay. So now, disease. Sure, I think he thought he would get more mana off that light up the stage. Okay, so Black-Red Sacrifice. So this Legion's End seems good. This Massacre Girl seems very good. Brontodon to block. Cavalier Knight just to gain myself some life. Do I want this? They do run their hand out pretty quick, but they do have ways to kill this. I'm not so into the Innkeeper when they can just force me to sacrifice stuff. I like having Find, Garrick will take over a game, this will take over a game, all these cards will take over a game. Been able to kill key pieces, this is good. So I think I'm just trimming this bottom end. This could be a liability, but when I'm on the draw, I do want ways to interact. Duress. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out some Innkeepers. This removal package is good. These creatures are red and black, so I don't want this. Cruel Harpooner's not going to do anything. This guy gains life. I was going to say he could be a liability, but he does gain life. Kind of like doing something like this. No, this guy can't block, so this guy is probably worse. Yeah, this isn't really a science, this is just throwing stuff in. The fact we're up game 1 is quite nice though. Gives us a little bit of room for innovation. This Paradise Druid again could be a liability, but I kind of just like having extra bodies about. So, we're running into phase 2 now. Oh, okay. So this one is a very easy mulligan. Because we essentially own 6 cards, we'll never cast this. Just throw this back. This is better. This card could come in really, really clutch. Be something to do on 2. Yeah, I'll keep this. And I think what we'll do is put back this Brontodon. Yeah. flowers, we could draw. And then we can go find swamp next turn, and then start playing our 3-drops. Do I block? I think I do. Yeah, definitely block now. Okay, it's not going to let me. I am fine with that. Okay. So that's good, that means we're getting close to this. So I'm just going to run tap land, and then we can play untapped land next turn, no attacks next turn. There you go. I don't feel great about our position. Having this Massacre Girl is quite nice though. That can hopefully clear up a board for us, and these things can hopefully buy us enough time. He's going to have a hard time getting through a beast. Murderous Rider gains his life, takes out key things. Let's see what our opponent is thinking. Okay, some shots. Oh! I wonder, does he just go for this? So, do I want to just kill this? I think I want to kill this, and then if he wants to sacrifice his whole board, he can. Yeah, I like that. I mean, the more stuff he keeps in play, the better this Massacre Girl gets. So, that's fine, then we get to go tap land, deploy one of these things, then Massacre Girl on 5. Don't want to draw another card. I kinda like the softener life though. Having this around makes Massacre Girl a lot better. This is fine. I think what we'll do next time is we'll put down a life point. See what he does with this. Oh, he's going heavy on the board, that's Massacre Girl. Great. That's a good follow-up to Massacre Girl. Now the question is, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I kill this now, go to 13, go to 7, and then he can just chain gun through. Does mean he doesn't draw any cards. I like that. I do like that. This means he just gets one new card, and he has to beat with what's in board, and I've got this Massacre Girl. Does put me to 6, but and depending on how he chooses to use this Massacre Immolation as well. But if he uses it that way, then that takes up most of his turn. Hopefully, his play is just put me to 6, put something else on the board, I play Massacre Girl, sweep the board, and then start deploying threats. Beautiful, just how we drew it up. So this turn I take a hit, and then it's trying to stabilise from there. What are you going to do? Could put me to 5? Right. So because of Nissa, I want as many forests as possible. We're going to go for that, and again, I don't want to play a devil and have to sacrifice this. So, yeah, this seems good to me. And then my plan is next turn, Nissa animate a land, hit him for 7, play a Murderous Rider, start clawing back into this game. So he's going to put me to 6. He can't Cradle Snatch this. Okay. Is it? Okay. So, I really don't want to die to this different. So, I think the play therefore is to put these Murderous Riders into play. And that just gives me the opportunity to gain the maximum amount of life. If I go Nissa, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I can still play a Murderous Rider, but then he can steal it, and then I've got nothing to block with. I think the best play is just to put these Murderous Riders into play, hit them for 4. Does it matter? So he steals a Murderous Rider. Yeah, I think it does. I think this turn we're just going to hold fire, and next turn we'll deploy a bunch of threats. Has to get damage through if he wants to start getting these gutter bones back and go to town on me. If I can attack with these Murderous Riders and go to 10, even if one dies to this Mayhem Devil, I'm going to feel a lot happier about this. Okay. So he's just going to try and cap me. Interesting. Does turn on all these gutter bones again, but I do get to gain a bunch of life getting this in. Okay. We've got a game. Love Struck Beast. Cool. Right. So let's start by going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we're still in the upkeep. Go to my main. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one.
Together, we will prevail.
Black green. Put this thing into play. Put this thing into play. animate a land.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
Attack with land and 2 riddles. Excuse me, block the riddle. Ping me, I assume. Oh, you're gonna have to block it. No, you're gonna have to. Only got 5. Okay. What's got? Maybe I should have attacked with this. I'm definitely dead next turn. But I think he is pretty dead next turn. 'Cause this is going to be 10. Yeah. Oh, hang on. He has to sacrifice this food if he wants to get the cat back. Okay. But if you don't equip this, then you can't block both these riders. Okay. This means I get to game 4. Beast.
The land fights for us.
Let's go to combat. This, and this. So, if he blocks, let's attack with everything. That's right. He's only got 1 block to make, and this is 10. Yeah. I don't think he's gotten out. Unless I've miscounted. There we go. There we go. So I like it. Didn't even get to 2 question beast. There you go. That's round 2 of the 2 NBA.